it's different now than I remember. From all the colors of September, we'd fall into that same honest day. Hang on, darling, these memories, like mending a broken room in our hands, but still out of touch. Think I've forgotten how to dream without Oh, it's different now than I remember. From all the colors of September, we fall into that same honest day. Lately I bite more than I can swallow, and I've sealed these senses in a bottle. Then I